What's up, y'all? It's your boy AJ, and this is AJREACTS2, and today we have a very special video. We are discussing, is Bucky Barnes a good character? Man, we got an awesome guest today, Cameron Silas, a TikTok sensation, some might say. And yeah, so we're gonna get her in here. What's
Hi.
up, Cam?
Hello. That intro was insane.
Thank you very much. First I want to kind of do this. I want to address the elephant in the room. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. An icon, a legend, so touched so many people's lives through his art. Do you have any words regarding the passing of Chadwick Boseman?
He's definitely gonna be missed. I remember the first movie I ever saw of him was 42, which, by the way, Robinson. I think my boyfriend pointed this out. He died on Jackie Robinson Day at the age of 42.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
That is crazy.
I don't know. I love Chadwick, just like not only as a person, but he was great as T'Challa, and it's really sad. It's not only sad that he's gone, but it's also sad to know that like he was going through like cancer treatments like the whole time he was filming like Civil War, Black Panther, Infinity War, Endgame, which is like crazy.
Some heavy hitters.
Yeah.
It's tragic. It's sad, and just rest in peace. And my prayers and thoughts go out to the family and close ones, and even the fans. Like, shout out to the fans. You know. But yeah, there's not a easy transition from that, but we're going to get into this video.
Let's get the mood back up.
I know. Let's get the mood back up. I wanted to, address that because that's something that's really important to a lot of people. And it's kind of relevant to this video as well. So, so yes, we're going to do a debate. And how it's going to be set up is we're both going to have opening statements. They're going to be 10 minutes each. And then we're going to have 2 rebuttals. So I'm going to go, she's going to go, I'm going to go, she's going to go, 5 minutes each. And then a 10-minute closing statement. If you don't use all the time, that's okay. If you just can't use over that time.
Okay.
So yeah, and it's going to be, you have the floor. When you have the floor, you have the floor. And if I have the floor, I have the floor. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be pretty structured, but I think it's still going to be fun. Yeah, so we're going to just kind of get into it. You said that you wanted to start off with the opening statements.
I'm so nervous.
It's okay. You good. I can start if you want me to.
Maybe you start.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that. And I'm going to get my timer
It's your
out.
Channel. It's your channel anyways. So you should start.
I know, but you're my guest. And whatever you say goes. So I'm going to go first.
Okay.
All right. So let's do this. I'm going to... Let me get a drink first. Okay. Let's do this. Starting off, 10 minutes. All right, so my stance on Bucky Barnes is we get a little bit of a backstory from him in the first Avenger, the first Captain America film, and he's cool. I'm cool with Bucky in the past, the backstory. Now, when it comes to the Winter Soldier, and when it comes to Infinity War, Civil War, Endgame, I feel like this character brings almost nothing to the table, and it kind of sucks because he's so prominent in the storyline, and I feel like he deserves more than that. And I think that Cap, they had such a strong bond in the past, and now he's just kind of trying to right Bucky's wrongs, and I'm like, this is, I wish we just kind of got more from him, even though I understand that he was brainwashed. I get that he was brainwashed, and how can you recover from being brainwashed? So, it's tough. Yes, I get that. but I think we're kind of past that, especially in Infinity War and in Infinity War and Endgame. I feel like we're past that. And also, even in Civil War, I feel like we should have gotten to see more of the turmoil and more of the just the war within himself. I feel like we didn't get very much emotion, and I kind of felt like he was vanilla. He was kind of vanilla, like just plain, kind of like. I think we just should have got more emotion from this character, and it's not Sebastian Stan's fault. Sebastian Stan is a good actor. I've seen him in I, Tonya, and that really changed my perspective on his, acting, because I feel like we weren't given much with the Winter Soldier. In the Winter Soldier, he was not in it. In the Winter Soldier, very much at all. He was in 13 minutes of the film. And I'm like, this is kind of his movie. And yes, it's kind of like the storyline is around this character, but how much of him are we getting, and why do we care about this character? I don't see it. Personally, I don't see it. But, we're here to hear some of Cam's thoughts. We know that she feels differently. So that was my thoughts, my opening statement. Let's get her back in here. Okay.
I didn't know you were going to take me out. I was like,
Yes. I'll have the floor, and then when you have your opening statement, you have the floor.
Okay.
And then the rebuttals we'll be both on screen with the rebuttals.
All right. Do I go?
All right. 1 second. Let me get the timer set up. That was 7 minutes. Not bad. Not bad. All right. Here we go.
All right. So I have the floor. My stance on it is that Bucky Barnes is a great character. AJ is not incorrect in the statement that we don't get a lot of him, especially in Captain America the Winter Soldier, which is kind of his movie, kind of not, because it is overall Captain America's movie. He is like the subtitle for it. But yeah, we don't get a lot of him in his movie. We don't get enough of him in Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. But it kind of, in a way, that's not necessarily his fault. That's like the writer's fault. And what the writers do shouldn't take away from the fact that he is a good character, even though we don't get much of him. I like him in Captain America, the First Avenger. 40s Bucky's great. Everybody loves him. And then in Winter Soldier and Civil War, I completely disagree on the fact that he's like vanilla, or that we don't get enough emotion out of him. One of the reasons why I like Bucky, and one of the reasons why I love Sebastian Stan as an actor, is that Sebastian Stan, either whether it's as Bucky or it's like any of his other characters, he's really, really good at acting with no lines and acting with his eyes. There's like a lot of the scenes that we have in The Winter Soldier specifically, he's there and he's on screen, but he's not giving us lines, but Sebastian Stan is able to communicate what Bucky is thinking through his eyes. And I think that's a really good trait to have as an actor. And I think that it brings a lot to the character. And that might just be something that a lot of people like. If you're not paying attention to Bucky, like that's something you're not really going to see. It's something you do have to pay attention to and read more into. Obviously, because Bucky is not a main character, he is a side character. I'm trying to think. What else can I add? We're definitely, I mean, this isn't really part of an opening statement, but we're definitely going to get a lot more of him in Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I'm very excited for that. Someone in the chat said like the scene on the Quinjet in Civil War where he's like, what's going to happen to your friends? And Steve's like, I don't know, but whatever it is, I'll take care of it. And he's like, I don't know if I'm worth all this. Those lines are like very small and minimum, but like if you watch it and you pay attention to the way that Sebastian Stan acts it, like Bucky Barnes as a character just has so much emotion in his eyes, and you can see that he's going, because it's hard as a writer, as a character, to like take everything that's going on inside of someone like Bucky Barnes' like head and to be able to write that and to show that. And I think that the way that Sebastian Stan is able to communicate that through his eyes is probably one of the best ways that you can get something as confusing as being brainwashed displayed on a screen. And I think that's the end of my statement. if AJ wants to come back.
I'm back. Thank you for the opening statement. I got you at. So you have 6 minutes left. So that was cool. Good statement. I appreciate that. So we're gonna get into the rebuttals. We'll each have 5 minutes each. So we'll have 2 rebuttals. So I'll go, you go, I go,
Okay.
you go. And we're gonna get into the chat. Don't worry, I'm not going to neglect the chat. We're gonna finish the debate. We're gonna do the debate, and then we're gonna get into the chat. We can do a Q&A, things like that. So let me take a drink real quick.
Okay.
Pardon me.
Yeah, can you tell that I like Bucky Barnes as a character?
You do. I can tell. And if anybody follows you on TikTok, they know too. All right, let's see. Let me get my timer. And I will start with the rebuttal. And we're both going to be on screen this time. All right. I guess I'll start.
Okay.
Yes. So, I started the rebuttal, and so you mentioned the acting and his eyes and how you can read things through his eyes and things like that. And yeah, I get that. I get that, you can portray a lot through your eyes and things like that, but that's not enough for me. I think I need him to be in more turmoil than that. I don't need him to, give puppy dog looks and things like that. He freaking murdered Tony Stark's parents. And, I know that's burning you up, but he did. The Winter Soldier did that. He was brainwashed. I get that. But he did that, and now he is, back in his right mind. He needs to be in some turmoil. If he has a conscience, he needs to be in some turmoil. Oh my gosh!
Question?
I didn't mean to. Yes.
I was gonna say, what do you mean by turmoil? Can you define that?
Oh yeah, turmoil. I mean, like, he's in a war within himself that he did these unspeakable things. Like, he did such horrendous things, and now he's, back in his right mind. He's trying to recover from this, from this brainwashing. I need him to give off some emotion. I don't need him to be plain, blank stares. I feel like that's what we get from this character. I need him to be like, Tony, no, I didn't mean it, Tony. I'm not the best actor, but this is what I know that Sebastian Stan can do this. Oh my gosh, no, I'm sorry. And Tony's, you pan over to Tony. Sorry's not good enough. Something like that. Like that, I could connect to that character more if I got that. If I got him, freaking out, him, like just in a tizzy, like that. But he doesn't give us that. He gives us plain vanilla, things. He's an awesome fighter. Don't get me wrong. He's an awesome fighter. He's got skill, but nah, like emotionally, why do I really care about this character? Why? Just from the backstory? I don't know. Nah, not for me.
Okay.
And that's the end of my rebuttal.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, 1 second. Let me get everything together here. Stop the timer. And here we go. You're good.
Oh, okay. What I'm hearing is that you don't like Bucky because you're not getting enough from him. You want him to say more and you want him to do different things. But at the end of the day, that's not necessarily a him thing. That really is a writer's thing. So you have to acknowledge the fact that it is the writers neglecting to care about the character of Bucky, neglecting to give him the things that he could do, because he could do so much more than he does. That's the writer's fault. That's not the character's fault. So you have to take what the character gives you. You have to take what Sebastian Stan gives you, and you run with that. Does that make sense? Because like, if Bucky, if this was like if this was like, I don't know, a documentary or whatever, like I'm sure we would get more turmoil from Bucky. But really, honestly, at the end of the day, if you take yourself like out of the Marvel world, like it's like it genuinely is not up to the character of Bucky, what he does and what he says. And that being said, Puppy Dog Eyes is a lot more than that. There's like so many scenes where yes, he's staring off into the distance, but like he's not zoned out. He's not giving you nothing. And like I said, like I know you rewatched the movies a while ago. I think with an open mind, but you really just have to like pay attention and be like, okay, what is he? What would he be thinking in this scene? Oh, you can tell just like through his eyes. You can tell how friggin' heartbroken and how like upset with himself that he is. And like to be fair, in the character's defense, he was frozen in ice just like Steve was until he was like taken out every once in a while by Hydra to be used as a weapon and whatnot. And then they literally wiped him and then put him back in the freezer. So arguably he was through it worse than Steve because he was just taken out multiple times and then erased and put back in. And when Steve came out of the ice, he had Nick Fury. He had a little bit of Peggy. Like he had some things that were there to like help him. He had Sam. He met Sam in Winter Soldier. Like he had people to like kind of help him figure out like what was going on. When Bucky comes out of the ice, like he just comes out of the ice back to Hydra. And then when he escapes Hydra, like he doesn't know what the hell is going on. So he doesn't really have time to necessarily talk. And he doesn't really have time to like talk out his feelings. He doesn't have time to see a therapist. He's busy running from Hydra. Like he doesn't have time for that. But then we get scenes like when Steve breaks into his apartment in Romania, I want to say. He breaks into his apartment and they do talk in that scene. He has quite a lot of lines. And then they get interrupted because people like SWAT is trying to break into his apartment. And then they would talk more, but they're busy trying to stop Zemo. Like there's just stuff in the way. They would talk more, but they're busy stopping Thanos. They would talk more, but he's busy freezing himself again at the end of Civil War. And then Steve runs away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
I can't believe that that's it.
That's it? All right. Nice. Yeah, like a minute left. Dope. Okay. I will start with my rebuttal. My second rebuttal. My second and final rebuttal. All right.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay, so you mentioned... I'm trying to remember everything that you were saying. I was really listening. I really was.
It's okay.
So you were saying, okay, first of all, I want to address when you said I went back and watched them. I did go back and watch the films. A couple weeks ago, I watched Civil War and I watched the Winter Soldier films because I had not seen them in a very long time. Well, I haven't seen the Winter Soldier film in a very long time because I simply don't care for that movie that much. That is a hot take. I know because some people, they have that above Endgame, you know, so I know people love that film. It just never really resonated with me. The action is friggin' phenomenal, but when it comes down to the story plot line, I'm not that interested, especially with Bucky. I'm going to go down the line and tell you how much time Bucky is on screen throughout all the MCU films. So we're going to go Captain America in the first Avenger, 8 minutes. He's in that film. Winter Soldier, 13 minutes and 15 seconds. This is a 2-hour and 15-minute film. And his character name is the subtitle, and he has 13 minutes and 15 seconds. I don't think that's right. Civil War, 22 minutes. It's a 2-hour and 30-minute film. This is the most we see Bucky in a film in the MCU. Black Panther, 45 seconds. This is a after credit scene, I'm aware. And Infinity War, 2 minutes. Endgame, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Now, I think there's plenty of time in these films to get this character and actually deal with some of the issues, especially Civil War. I think they spent a lot of time on the Avengers and fanfare of, you know, what that film was. It was basically an Avengers movie, point, you know, whatever. It was basically an Avengers movie. So many characters. They could have focused more on Bucky's character, Bucky's the war within himself. Like I said, that's what I want to see from this character, because he was brainwashed, and I know that it's a lot to take. But also, I'm like, why aren't they giving this character more time? And the writing is all it is. The writing is what the character is. I correlate both of them together. I don't separate the character in the writing, because the character is written. You know, it's not, I'm not saying anything is Sebastian Stan's fault. Like I said earlier, Sebastian Stan, he's cool in my eyes. I just feel like this character wasn't given enough. Now, in Falcon and Winter Soldier, that's probably going to change. That's going to change my mind. But we haven't gotten that yet. And I feel like we should have gotten more with what we've given, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I think that's the end of my rebuttal, my second rebuttal.
Okay.
I was worried that I wouldn't have enough time, but I got everything out that I wanted to say. So you're going to go for your second rebuttal?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. We're going to start the timer now.
Okay. So I do absolutely get that, you know, writing and character, like the writing is the character. Duh, because without the writing, the character wouldn't exist. But the thing is that they are one in many, many ways, but at the end of the day, if you're debating whether or not a character is good, the argument that the writers haven't given them enough screen time shouldn't be included in the argument of if that character is good. What should be included is with what we have of the character. Sorry, there's a loud thing outside my window.
That's all right.
With the time that the writers do give us for that character, whether it's 45 minutes in the whole franchise or whether it's like 17 hours, no matter what it is, you take that and you separate it from everything else. You look at what you are given and you take that and you're like, okay, with what Bucky Barnes is given from the writers, what does he do with it? Does he do a good job with it? And I think that he does. He has a lot of funny lines with I'm going to say solid like 17 lines that the writers give him. Really funny lines. Who the hell is Bucky is a very iconic line. What the hell is that he says in Civil War? In Infinity War, Rocket's like, how much for the arm? Not for sale. Funny. And then he has some good lines in the first Avenger that I can't think of off the top of my head. Like with what you do in this specific argument, you do have to separate what the writers do and versus what the character does, because I get that they are one and that does make sense, but it's not Bucky's fault that the writers don't give him enough time. That's you saying that the writers aren't doing a good enough job for you. Not that with what we're given, that Bucky is a bad character. Do you know what I mean? You're saying that you have an issue with how much the writers are giving you for the character, because quite honestly, your argument sounds like you do like the character, but there's just not enough of him, so you want more. That's what your argument sounds like to me. Because the way that you want so much more of him, it sounds like you like the character, and you're just upset that you don't have enough of him. So I think you like Bucky Barnes as a character. I think you hate the Marvel writers for not giving you enough of him. And I think that's, like, does that make sense to you? Because I think that's where you're at.
All right. Is
I'm
that the end of your rebuttal? Okay.
I guess.
Okay. You sure? You got some more time. You got 2 minutes and 23 seconds.
I'm trying to think of what else you said. I mean, like, I don't know if there's really much else to say, but, like, still just on the topic of writers versus characters, like, it genuinely, like, you can't say that, like, Morgan Stark is not a bad character just because we've only seen her in one movie. We didn't get a lot of her in Endgame. She's not a bad character. You know what I mean? And this argument isn't whether or not Bucky Barnes should be your favorite character. It's whether or not Bucky Barnes is a good character, point blank, period. You know what I mean? Yeah. He doesn't have to be your favorite character, but with what you're given, he is a good character. That's it.
Okay. Dope. Cool. So I'm going to get into the closing statements. So before I get into the closing statements, I just want to say, again, thank you so much, Cam, for coming on and debating me about this. You know, I love talking MCU. I love, you know, debates and things like that. Just interesting topics of discussion. It has been a lot of fun so far. And if you guys are having fun too, I see there's a lot of comments, like 120 comments right now. We're going to get into those. We're not going to neglect you guys. We're going to get into the comments here in a minute after the closing statements. But in the meantime, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button.
For the algorithm.
Yeah, for the algorithm. Yes, if you've seen Tenet, for the algorithm. But yeah, so yeah, we're going to get into the closing statements here. Do you want to go first, or I know you just went. Okay. I'm going to get into my closing statement. So yeah. And I'm going to set the timer. 10 minutes. Here we go. All right. So, I'm going to say this. So at the end of the day, I know we can have our biases. We can have our, you know, our favorites for different reasons. And, you know, I have my favorites of the MCU for certain reasons as well. But when it comes down to it, when it all boils down, we have to go by what the writers have given us, what the character has portrayed, what the actor has portrayed, you know, with the character. And what I'm saying here is that Sebastian Stan did a fine job for what he was given. I'm not knocking his acting skills at all. I am saying that the character wasn't written in the way that I think he should have been. I feel like he was a little mishandled in certain areas because I don't really care about this character. And that's because I haven't gotten enough from him. I haven't gotten emotion, turmoil. What I think being wiped and having your brain washed, that's going to come with a certain, you know, emotional trauma. And I'm not getting any of that from Bucky. And yes, Cam, she mentioned that that I want more of this character. I can take it or leave it, honestly. Like, I'm ready for Falcon and Winter Soldier because I think that that's going to change my perspective a little bit. But at this point, I think he has been in 6 films so far, and I don't care about this character very much. I just don't, because of what we've been given from the writers. And yeah, so like I said, Captain America: First Avengers, 8 minutes. Winter Soldier, 13 minutes, 15 seconds. Civil War, 22 minutes. Black Panther, 45 seconds. I understand this is a ending credit scene. Infinity War, 2 minutes. Endgame, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. It was plenty of time within these films to give this character more, and they just didn't. They didn't give this character more, and quite frankly, I don't think he's a good character because of it. I think they kind of dropped the ball with this character so far. Now, like I said, Falcon and Winter Soldier might change my mind, but it hasn't happened yet. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see. All right.
Wait, I lost you.
Your closing.
I can't hear anything. Wait.
Can you hear me?
I don't know what happened.
Uh-oh.
Okay, yes, I can now. Sorry.
All right.
I can hear you now.
Okay, you can hear me now? Good.
Yes.
All right. We're going to get into your closing statement. All right.
Okay.
So, go.
All right. My closing statement is that I think AJ is a little bit confused about what he is actually mad at. I think that he is saying that he thinks Bucky Barnes is a bad character because he hasn't been written enough, that he hasn't been given enough screen time. And at the end of the day, that is not the character's fault. That is the writer's. I think that the title of this debate should be, is Bucky Barnes a good written character? Not a good character. Like, is he written well or not? I agree on the fact that he's not written well. They don't give him enough. He's definitely tossed away to the side. He's a side character. But that's the point. He doesn't have a lot of screen time because he is, in fact, not a main character yet. With the deaths of Black Widow and Iron Man and kind of Captain America, he's not dead, but he's old. With those characters going away, obviously now we're going to have room for side characters to become main characters. But even though he is in the title of the second movie, he is not the main character. It's Captain America movie at the end of the day, so it's going to focus on Captain America. And that's just how it is. Like, it's not the character's fault that the writers haven't given him enough. It's not Bucky Barnes' fault that the writers don't really care about the character of Bucky. And in terms of AJ saying that he doesn't care about the character, I literally think that he's wrong. Because, like, if he didn't care about the character, then he wouldn't want more from him. He wouldn't want the writers to write him more. If AJ didn't care about the character of Bucky, he wouldn't want more turmoil from him. I think he cares about the character. I think that he just is upset with the way that he's written. But those are two different things. Whether or not a character is written well and whether or not a character is a good character are two absolutely different things. And I think that Bucky Barnes is a good character. A part of being a good character also includes having a lot of good potential, like, in your character. And I think that obviously with Falcon and Winter Soldier coming out, Bucky Barnes clearly has a lot of potential as a character. And we're going to get to see that. And hopefully then AJ will change his mind. Maybe we'll come back and talk about it whenever Falcon and Winter Soldier comes out. But that's not the character's fault. I think that AJ's mad at the writers, and he can't separate the fact that Bucky's just not written well enough, but he's still a good character. And I think that's the end of my closing statement.
Nice. Awesome. So we're going to get into the discussion now, a Q&A/discussion.
Woo.
All right, man. Oh, shoot.
I could talk about Bucky all day.
We got so many people in the chat. Oh, my goodness. I don't know if we're going to be able to get through all this. Okay.
I have nowhere to be.
All right. So that wouldn't fit his character. I think they're referring to when I was saying that he needs to be in more turmoil. I think he does, but okay. Get it, Cam. He was brainwashed. Okay, let me add those.
Yeah, bring him up on the screen.
Yeah, bring him up. I'm gonna bring him up on the screen. Aaron Lilly says he was brainwashed, and it is the characters didn't include lines for Seb to portray. That is why he didn't say anything, I guess. We all know he could have done well. But yeah, I'm not saying that he couldn't have done well. I'm back to my argument. Sebastian Stan is cool. I like Sebastian Stan.
We love Sebastian Stan here.
Yes. I don't know if I'd say love, but I do like him. I do like him. Is that
have you seen anything else?
Bucky, I mean, I've seen him in Once Upon a Time.
I love Once Upon a Time.
It's a good show. I mean, it's okay.
He's in Gossip Girl, but I wouldn't really recommend that as one of his good things.
I didn't see him in Gossip Girl. But yeah, so yeah, he was brainwashed. I get that. God, I can't wait for Falcon and Winter Soldier, Laurel M. Yeah,
we should have
Falcon
it
and Winter
right
Soldier
now.
is going to be good, huh?
We should be having it right now, but
I know, it sucks. All right, yes, Cam, get it. Best thing is that
yes, okay,
TV.
this is a good point.
Okay.
I want to talk about this. Best thing is that he's written about around Cap, but now Cap is gone. I don't know how, this is like a whole different topic. I don't know how you feel about Cap's ending. I adore Cap's ending in Endgame. Him going back to Peggy, I love it. But especially on TikTok, like with my following, a lot of people don't like his ending, and one of those reasons is that people are upset that he left Bucky. And they're like, "Oh, until the end of the line was a lie." And I'm like, I don't know about y'all, but I'm so. Am I allowed to cuss? I'll say freaking.
I prefer.
I'm so freaking excited. Wait, I can't believe I've gone through this whole thing without cussing.
I know. I'm surprised.
Wow, look at me. Okay, but I'm so freaking excited to. Now that Steve's gone, like, no offense, I love Steve as a character, but I'm so happy that he's gone because now Bucky can't physically be written as Steve's best friend. Like, he can't be written as that anymore because Steve's not there.
Hey, I'm with you on that.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. All right. Yes, Cam, you got it. Gabby S says, his facial expressions are really good too. Facial expressions is not enough. I keep saying that.
We're not saying that it's enough to hold a whole character. We're saying that with what we are given from the writers, if it was acted by somebody else and they didn't give the facial expressions that Sebastian Stan was able to portray as Bucky Barnes, then the character would have even less than it already does. We're saying that luckily Sebastian Stan is really good at portraying emotion through his eyes because the writers don't give him lines. So Sebastian Stan's like, okay, well, guess I got to use something else.
Hey, but that's the character though. I'm telling you, that's the character. That's how the character is written. I'm not saying it, like I said, I'm not saying anything against a Sebastian Stan, but the character is written in such a way to where they haven't given him enough. It's not a good character. Not a good character.
Not his fault. Not his fault.
It's not Sebastian Stan's fault. It's
not Bucky's fault either.
It's on the character. I mean, the character is written the way it is.
Do you want him to come out of the page? Do you want Bucky Barnes to come out of the pages and tell the writers to give him more lines? Like, what do you want him to do about it? He can't do anything.
No, I'm not. That obviously that's not that can't happen. So I can't differentiate the two.
But that's the thing I'm trying to say is that you have to. If you're debating whether or not a character is good, then what the writers give you is what you have to debate. You're not debating the fact that the writers don't give you enough of him. You're debating with what the writers have given you. So the writers are out of the question.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
He's like, no.
I can't wrap my head. I can't wrap my head around that. It's tough.
I can draw a visual.
I'm sure you can. Okay. Yes, preach. After everything that happened, all we wanted to do is helpful to Steve and everyone else. Okay. I'm gonna see if we have questions.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just go to ones that are important.
Yeah, because this is important. Hello there.
No, he did, and then he left because he said something later on in the chat saying, "Oh, I'm late."
Did he? Oh, dang. It's okay. Chris, been waiting for you. Meredith said that. Also, a hot dog isn't a sandwich. Okay. I respect your wrong opinion. Like Draco Malfoy. I don't know what they're referring to, but I feel like that's on my side.
No, they're referring to the fact that Draco Malfoy is still a good character, but he's not given enough in the movies. Like, he's not given enough scenes.
Oh, I think he's done very well. I don't like his ending. I don't care for his ending. I think he's.
Have you seen the alternate? Did you know that they had an alternate ending for him?
I didn't know that.
This is so off topic, but I'm going to tell you anyways. There's a deleted scene. It's not even an alternate ending because he still would have walked away with his parents, but there's literally a deleted scene where Harry falls out of Hagrid's arms and Draco yells, "Potter," and throws his wand at him because Harry's not holding a wand. He didn't have a wand when Voldemort killed him. He didn't have a wand. So the wand that he uses in Deathly Hallows Part 2 is Draco's wand. He yelled "Potter" and throws his wand at him. And then Harry catches it and goes, yeah, that's literally
even though his ending would be the same, that changes his character arc a lot.
It changes it so much. And I know this is so off topic.
I need to find this. No, I love it. I love it.
If you search Draco Malfoy deleted scenes, it's like the very first thing that comes up.
Oh,
and it makes sense because I never thought about it. Where does Harry get the wand? He didn't have that before.
I guess it has to be Draco's. I mean, I didn't read the book, so it's hard for me to follow everything. Oh, I still have that timer on. Okay. Nerdy Blurb TV says Team Draco. Yeah, I mean, I guess in the books, but I don't know. Who's winning?
Me.
Probably from the chat, I'd say Cam. But in all actuality, I don't know. Certain vids, the Winter Soldier is greater than everything. I guess that's what that means.
He's just saying the Winter Soldier is a good movie.
I still don't. Oh, okay. I still don't understand that take, AJ. That's okay if you don't understand it. Maybe just watch it on the replay. You might understand it better. All are burger sandwiches? Of course, burgers are sandwiches. Are you kidding me? Yes,
They're
it's between
burgers.
2 pieces of bread. There's ingredients inside. That's a sandwich.
It's a different argument.
I think Cam, but I don't really know, is winning. Yeah, I mean, we didn't really do it for the winning. We're just doing it to open people's minds, right? Of course you did, Cam. Of course you did. Cam is winning always. Okay. That's not Bucky's fault. It is, but it's the writer's fault, and that's what I'm going by.
But then that's not under the debate of whether or not he's a good character. That's so stupid.
A problem, AJ, you're saying isn't the character's fault. It's not the actor's fault. That's what I'm saying. The character can't. It can't be the character's fault because
do you want
writer,
Sebastian Stan to just say lines that he's not given?
No, he can't. He can't do that.
So okay, so question: what do you want Bucky, the character, not the actor? What do you want Bucky, the character, to do about the fact that he doesn't have enough lines? What do you want him to do about it?
He can't do anything about that.
Exactly. So whose fault is it? It's the writer's fault. So we're not debating whether or not Bucky's a good character. We're debating whether or not Bucky is written well enough.
That's the same thing to me.
It's not, though. Whether or not Bucky is a good character.
We have to agree to disagree with that because I think the character coincides with the writing. I think if the writers,
to a certain point,
I think all the way for me. That's how I see it. I see it. If the writers mishandle the character, then the character is not a good character. If they mishandle that character, then the character is not a good character. I'm saying character a lot today. All right. It should say more on the character that he makes an impression.
That is a very good point. I would just like to say,
Nerdy Blurb TV is on your side with this.
I think he is. I don't know who that is, but thank you.
That's Ryan. That's our buddy Ryan over at Nerdy Blurb.
That is a good point. I will say, you can think that Bucky Barnes is a bad character all you want, but it really, really says something about the fact that such a huge fan base has been created for a character around 45 minutes of screen time.
That's crazy to me.
It says a lot.
That's cool. That's cool, and it's crazy to me. But I stand by that because I feel like some people are blinded by some things. They're kind of they like this character for other reasons that might not have to do with the story. I'm not gonna get all the way into that.
No, say what you want to say. You can say it. I'll rebuttal. Just say what you want to say.
I know you're gonna. I know what you're trying to say. You're gonna make me out to be the fool.
No, I won't. I won't rebuttal in the way that you're thinking, but I will make a solid rebuttal. If you don't say it, I can say it for you.
Okay, go ahead and say it because I don't want to say it.
Okay, I'll say it for AJ because he's too scared to say it. So basically, before we did this, I asked him if he was going to give me any of the points that he was going to say, so I would know what I was going to have to rebuttal. And one of the points that AJ is trying to make right now is that one of the reasons why Bucky Barnes has such a big fan base is because Bucky Barnes is an extremely attractive character. Sebastian Stan is a very attractive man, and that's a strong point. I personally on TikTok, I make a whole bunch of edits about Bucky Barnes. And it's just the same 45 minutes, just edited into different sequences with different songs. But that being said,
they're fire though. Hey, they're fire though. I love those edits.
I told him, I was like, that's kind of a moot point just because Marvel doesn't hire unattractive people. It is all preference. Mark Ruffalo is an attractive man. Am I attracted to him? Absolutely not. But he's not hard to look at, especially in the first Avenger movie. He's an attractive man. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Am I attracted to Benedict Cumberbatch? Not in the slightest. Is Benedict Cumberbatch ugly? No, he is an attractive person. That's how the film industry works. You're not going to hire somebody that's ugly. So it's it can be a part of it. You can definitely get into liking a character. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody that likes Tom Holland's Spider-Man starts liking it because Tom Holland is a little cutie. But then that's what makes you notice the character. Then you stay for what the character offers you. And the reason why
I feel like this character doesn't offer anything.
It doesn't to you. I mean, it is all preference. Like, I don't necessarily like. I I do love Iron Man, but like, there's some things like he does that I'm like, huh? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It is all preference, and like,
I disliked Iron Man for a very long time.
I know you did.
I did not like Iron Man until Endgame.
At the end of the day, it is really all preference, and I think that especially girls do this, and I mean it's a little bit rarer because I think more guys tend to like Marvel than girls do, even though there is a very large female fan base for Marvel. But like, one of the reasons why like girls specifically always like Bucky Barnes as a character is because we see this cute boy in the 40s and we're like, oh, he's so cute, what a heartthrob, and then he fucking
You're good. Keep going. You're fine.
He falls off of a train and we're like, huh?
Yeah.
And then we get him back. And so now not only do we have a character that we initially thought was cute, but now we have a character that literally has like, been brainwashed and beaten and is sad and is working on getting fixed. So it's like a combination of like, yeah, we think he's cute at first, but then he's like, to girls at least, he gets a lot of sympathy because we're like, oh, poor baby. And I do know that most of the people I know that don't necessarily think Bucky Barnes is a good character tend to be boys. I think a big part of that is because when I say I see Sebastian Stan and how he's acting like with his eyes through Bucky Barnes, I see that because like I have so much more sympathy for the character than necessarily like my boyfriend Chris. Like, he doesn't necessarily care
Shout out
what
Chris.
Bucky is thinking. Shout out to my boyfriend Chris. When me and Chris watch like Winter Soldier, when I watch Bucky on the screen, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what is he thinking? He's so sad. Look at his eyes. There's so much emotion. There's tears in his eyes. When we find out that he killed Tony's parents and it pans over to him, the camera's on him for like 0.2 seconds, but those 0.2 seconds, the face that Bucky has is literally heartbreaking to me. Chris probably wouldn't even have noticed it. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying,
so
yes, it's hard for us to notice that kind of stuff. We need an outward appearance of that. We need him to be like, oh crap, I did this. That sucks. I'm sorry. You know, we need that. We don't need.
In the defense of the character,
that's what he gave us.
Listen, listen. In the defense of the character, Iron Man really didn't give him a lot of he didn't really give him long enough to be like, I'm so sorry. He didn't get any time. And then all of a sudden, this man is trying to kill him. It's the same thing of it's the same thing how in the beginning of Civil War, like T'Challa is like chasing the crap out of Bucky, and then like towards the end, when like they all walk towards each other and like we're in like the big final battle. Chris said she's getting heated. I'm paying attention to the chat later on. I'm not getting heated. I'm just getting passionate. There's a difference.
Yeah, I mean, you're passionate about this.
And then in the final battle, when it's Bucky and T'Challa, they have each other like at the neck, and Bucky's like, I didn't kill your father, and then T'Challa's like, then why did you run? And Bucky doesn't say anything because then T'Challa like punches him or whatever. But it's like, because you were coming at me with your claws and you're scary. Like, what do you want me to do? Stand there? I'm gonna run. I'm not gonna try and talk it out with you when you're chasing after me with your scary claws, or when you're trying to, I'm not gonna be able to talk it out if you're trying to kill me. So it's not really. I think they should have.
I feel like they should have written something in there like, I didn't kill your father. I didn't do it.
Yeah, they really could have, but the thing is the reason that they don't is because they take that time to focus on Iron Man, because it's like it could have gone two ways. We're focusing on the fact that it was Iron Man's parents, or we're focusing on the fact that Bucky was the one that killed Iron Man's parents. Which one do we focus on? We're going to focus on the fact that it was Iron Man's parents, because Iron Man is the main character and Bucky's not. And they're just going to focus on the character that has like their own movies. Like,
I know, I get what you're saying. I think they could have killed two birds with one stone with that. I know that's
they
kind
could
of
have, but they didn't.
that's kind of a bad analogy, but they could have, did two things in once with that, and kind of made us have like this sympathy. I know you found it, but I didn't find that sympathy that he's crushed, that he did something so horrible to his best friend's friend. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of it is preference, because like in that specific scene, in that specific moment, I'm like, am I supposed to feel bad for Tony? Because I don't.
Dang, like that's tough. I don't understand. I don't understand that.
Like I do obviously, because it's like, oh, like his parents, but like also they already died, so I don't know. Like,
huh? That's terrible,
like,
Cam. That's terrible.
No, like I get why he's upset, but like, oh my God, calm down. And then
I mean, he didn't know. He didn't know that they were murdered, though.
I will give him this.
He didn't know that they were murdered.
The line where he's like, I don't care, he killed my mom. I will give him that. That line is where I feel like sympathy for him.
Yeah.
And then, but the thing is that we get another moment when they're in the middle of a fight. Like Iron Man, like, sorry, we keep talking about this. I don't care though.
It's okay.
Iron Man closes the thing on Bucky, and then he gets Bucky in like a headlock, and he's like, do you even remember them? And Bucky's like, I remember all of them. That's heartbreaking.
He should have. Okay, I get that. That was a good line. That was a great line. But I think it should have been done with more heart, more. I remember all of them.
He's in the middle of a headlock.
I remember all of them.
That's what he does. Are you kidding me? Have you seen that scene? Did you fall asleep?
I did see this. I did see the scene, and he gave us very minimal. I think
he gave us quite a lot. He gave us quite a lot, actually. No, I think he gave us a very solid amount. I think that he gave us plenty, and I think that you just want to hate this character, and I think that's
I don't hate this character. I said that in the beginning. If I didn't say that, I meant to say that. I don't hate this character. I think this character does have potential, but so far, is he a good character? I don't feel like that's accurate.
Okay, then
let's get back to the chat a little bit. Because I think we're neglecting them a little bit. Aaron Lillies, he came back and said, but that's all the writer's fault. Screen time doesn't make a character any more or less, or any less or more screen time. Okay, I think the screen time was used poorly for this character. That's my argument with it. And you even agreed a little bit with me, Cam, saying that the writers could have done more with this character.
Yeah.
Is that something that you agree with?
We both definitely agree on that. The thing that makes our agreement different, though, is the fact that you think that what the writers do affects if a character is good or not, and I don't.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. I think that's where we differ. Yes, I get that. Cam's face. Let's see. What point? I don't know. This is so far back. I agree, AJ. Writing equals the character. Oh wait, is the writing is? I don't know if you're agreeing with me there.
He is. He's saying that the writing and the character do go hand in hand, and I do agree. They really do. But I say that to a certain extent.
Got you.
Like,
Cam 1, cut the cameras. Your followers are funny. I love y'all. Yolo Lou. I'm gonna butcher that. Sebastian Stan really did well with what the writers gave him. I mean, which was not much, so I can't really say. I mean, I can say that he did well for what they gave him, but what they gave him wasn't enough for me to make him a good character.
I'm gonna edit the saddest edit you've ever seen in your entire life, AJ, and it's just gonna be clips of Bucky's sad face and the emotion he portrays in his eyes, and I'm gonna send it directly to you, and I'm gonna dedicate it to you when I post it on YouTube, and you're gonna see with that edit, you're gonna see how fucking you're gonna see how much emotion he really brings to the table. Okay. And also, if to argue so I don't know why I'm stuttering, to argue the fact of like the writer's not giving him enough or whatever, when I know that we already just the fact that he's brainwashed. However, when you are brainwashed, when you are brought in and out of ice multiple times, and when you still have these things in your head where somebody can just say like these words and trigger you into literally like wiping your brain and being a completely different person, and when your brain is like a blender and you're confused just all the time, you don't know where you are. What year is it? I don't know. You've got a lot, when you have a lot going on up in here, you're not going to be able to process it out here. That happens with people on a normal daily basis. There are people that like talk too fast to be able to communicate their thing. They think too fast to be able to communicate their words.
Yeah.
And in Bucky's defense, like it's really not, it wouldn't make sense for the character to talk about his emotions.
No, I'm not saying he needs to talk about it. I'm just saying that he needs to show that turmoil outwardly, like,
and he does.
You know, like just like that. That's.
But does anybody in the MCU act like that though? I don't think any of them do. Nobody goes, my parents are dead. Nobody acts like that. Like
no,
in general.
but I think he's like one of the only characters that has been brainwashed, right?
Okay, well then let me offer you this question.
That has had this happen to him.
Let me offer you this. You like Captain Marvel, right?
I do like Captain Marvel. I do like
you like her character.
I don't love Captain Marvel. I do like that character, yes.
How do you feel about her movie and the way that it was portrayed by Brie Larson?
I liked it, didn't love it.
Okay, so what happened to Captain Marvel? She got taken to a place and she was told that her whole entire life was one thing, and then in her movie she finds out that that was a lie. She kind of wakes up, dare I say, from a sort of brainwashing, and she figures out that her life is not what she thought it was. And so then she goes to figure out all the stuff on her own. And one of the things that Brie Larson gets as hate from Marvel fans is that she didn't act the character out with enough emotion. I disagree because Captain Marvel as a character is confused. Carol Danvers, she doesn't know who she is, and that's what she's trying to figure out the whole movie. Bucky Barnes is going through the same thing. He just doesn't get his own movie for it.
He didn't go through exactly the same thing because he murdered people.
But he was absent when that happened. He didn't know about any of that.
But
no, he wasn't. When he woke up,
I get that. He wasn't present. But when he was present, when he came back, he remembered everything that he did.
And that's a lot to remember. Imagine waking up and all of a sudden 80 of the past years of your life just come flooding back. That happens to Captain Marvel at the end of her movie.
I'm gonna be screaming and crying and all kinds of stuff. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
I would be emotionally drained and just sit there.
Film Fanatic says, I love AJ, but I think Cam has this one. Okay. Cam or no Cam, I'm biased. Bucky for life. I'm glad you said that you're biased though, because that destroys the argument.
No, it does not.
Marvel movie reviews and stuff says, hey, what's up? Lucia K. I'm so glad that she's clarifying this. It's exactly what I was thinking. All right. Let's see if anybody has some.
Yeah, I was going to say, skip to the parts that don't like talk about certain points in the video because I don't know what they're talking about.
It says, AJ, you're trying not to smile. I don't remember which part. I love smiling.
I do.
I don't feel like I was hiding a smile at all.
It was during my second rebuttal. You were trying not to laugh.
Oh, yeah. I didn't want to feel like I was being rude or anything.
Okay.
I don't know really what that means. Walk off home run. Oh, you won by a landslide. I guess that's what he's saying. Dang, destroyed AJ. You just got destroyed. How? I don't feel that. Okay, I see that people are saying this.
You're gonna watch this.
Feel that.
You're gonna watch this back and you're gonna see it.
I guess I'm gonna watch it back and see it.
Because the thing is when I was talking during my rebuttals, and the same thing for me when you were talking, like I'm not necessarily listening. I'm like thinking of like what I'm gonna say next. Does that make sense? But I think you'll watch this back and see.
What closing statement? She kind of disproved you. Okay. I'm just reading all these. I'm just reading all these. She kicked your booty. All right.
I love how all the film bros have my side on this one.
They do. They do. The chat makes it seem like a mic drop moment.
So he wasn't here.
Drop moment.
He wasn't here.
He wasn't here. I know.
That's what I'm getting from that.
Yeah, he wasn't here. He came late. He said that he was late. I didn't see the mic drop moment. I must have overlooked that.
It's okay. You'll see it when you watch it back.
Yeah. Bruh, AJ, I don't like the MCU writing, but I don't think Bucky is a bad character. LOL. All right. Any questions here before we wrap this up? I'm with you to the end of the line. No emotion. Go on. One line. Okay. Okay. Yes. Debate this after the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't know if there'll be much of a debate left because I'm hoping that this show proves me wrong, but I don't know.
Oh, you know what is a sad thing? Here's an example of like how like some fans like read into things more than others. At Tony's funeral in Endgame, everyone's in a suit except for Bucky. He's just in a jacket, and Bucky fans read into that, seeing as Bucky wasn't planning on going to Tony's funeral because he didn't think Tony was going to want him there. And then he just got convinced to go, so he like threw on a jacket. And I think that that's like kind of a good read-in. It makes sense. That's just a small example I have.
I guess so. So I guess everybody feels that I lost this debate, but I guess I got to catch it on the playback. I guess I got to catch it on the. AJ's not going to
want me back on the channel.
No, not at all. This was all in good fun. I'm not taking this to heart at all. I stand by what I feel. You stand by what you feel, and that's that. And that's awesome because I love how we can both watch the same movie and then have two totally different perspectives on a character. I think that's awesome, and it creates awesome discussions, awesome debates, awesome videos like this. So once again, I want to thank you for being on the channel, coming by and really just talking and discussing with me this character in the MCU. So I'm going to let you have the floor and let you tell the people where they can find you and what you have coming up and stuff. So yeah.
Okay. You can find me on YouTube at Cam Silas. Anywhere else you can find me at Cameron Silas. Instagram. I do TikTok. That's probably where most of the people here are from. I'm posting a YouTube video today. It's not Marvel related. It's Harry Potter related. It's a really long. It's like a 3-minute long, sad edit. But I'll be posting that after this is done. And yeah, I'm sure AJ's gonna come back in here and plug himself, but I'm gonna plug him for him. If you're here for my TikTok, go ahead and subscribe to AJ. He does a lot of really cool videos. In terms of movies, but he also does like way more than that. He does these really funny like taste test videos where he tries out like the weirdest food I've literally ever seen in my entire life. He does like music stuff. He's really cool. So if you're here from TikTok, go ahead and subscribe to him. Okay, that's it.
Thank you for that plug. I really appreciate that. Yeah. So everybody that stuck around, we got 16 people still checking us out. Thank you so much for stopping by and just like listen to us ramble on about this character. It really does mean a lot that you guys stop by and just let me express myself, letting Cam express herself. So yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, AJREACTS2. I react. I just check all kinds of stuff out, music, TV, movies, things like that. And I review all the movies that I watch on Letterboxd. So find me on there. So yeah, I think that's all we have for today. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you again for stopping by. Thank you for watching. And I'll catch you guys next time.